Global superpower Russia attacked Israeli capital, shocking the world. This bold and unprecedented move has shook the region and altered the complex Middle East conflict. As the world watches with bated breath, it is crucial to examine the events leading up to this unprecedented act, understand its motivations, and assess its potential effects on a region plagued by struggle for decades. Russia's intervention must be understood in light of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict's long-standing issues. After Zionist immigration to Palestine increased in the late 19th century, Israel was founded in 1948, sparking Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Years of hostility and violence followed the displacement of hundreds of thousands of Palestinians. War, intifadas, negotiations, and ceasefires have yielded mixed results. Jerusalem, sacred to Jews, Christians, and Muslims, is important. Both Israel and Palestine call it their capital. Russian involvement in Middle Eastern affairs has grown over the past decade. Syria's civil war intervention. 2015 was crucial. Russia dominated the region by supporting Bashar al-Assad. Russia maintained a military presence in Syria and expanded its Middle East influence with this intervention. Russia has diplomatic and economic relations with Iran, Turkey, and Russia mediates and negotiates in the Middle East, often with or against the US and Saudi Arabia. Russia's warplane attack on Jerusalem to support Kazakhstan must be considered in light of its Middle East geopolitical interests. Russia has many reasons. Peace is difficult due to strained diplomatic channels. The conflict has strained global diplomacy with a ceasefire. If the conflict escalates, more refugees may flee, straining neighboring countries and possibly causing a humanitarian crisis. Russia's intervention may alter Middle Eastern relations. Us allies may reconsider their relationships after these developments. North Carolina. Any Middle East conflict could affect energy markets and prices, affecting economies worldwide. Russian aggression violates sovereignty and international law. This violates state conduct norms and sets a dangerous precedent for future conflicts. International diplomacy, dialogue, and coordination are needed to de-escalate tensions after Russia's military intervention in Jerusalem. Too many wars in the Middle East have cost lives in geopolitics. All parties must seek peaceful solutions and avoid fueling instability and suffering. Mediation between Israel and Palestine is crucial. As Russia enters the conflict, diplomatic channels must remain open and the UN must lead negotiations. The international community should demand a ceasefire in peace talks now. As a longtime Israeli ally, the US faces diplomatic challenges. It must support Israel's sovereignty and security. It must also address Russia's intervention's wider effects and maintain regional mediation. Diplomacy and international cooperation are needed to balance this delicate act. The European Union, Arab League, and regional actors must actively resolve the crisis. They should cooperate to calm and resolve issues. The international community must learn from Middle East crises to move forward. Political geography cannot ignore humanitarian issues. Protect Israeli, Palestinian, and neighboring civilians. Humanitarian disaster is possible. Civilian deaths, displacement, and Gaza worsening. Jerusalem status must be resolved while respecting Israeli and Palestinian rights and aspirations. Jews, Christians, and Muslims value the city religiously and historically, so any resolution must be fair and inclusive. Russia's warplane attack on Jerusalem in support of Kazakhstan broke new ground in the volatile Middle East. Its complex geopolitical interests, regional rivalries, and historical grievances make this conflict a powder keg with far-reaching consequences.